Hey guys, my name is Cody Barton. Welcome to my channel where I talk to you all about real estate, business, and systems. And in this video, I'm gonna be telling you all about a productivity hack that I use to successfully manage multiple businesses. So what I'm gonna be sharing with you in this video specifically is called Smart Week, Smart Day. And so what this is that productivity hack that I was talking about that allows you, if you implement it daily and weekly, to be way more intentional with your time and get more done in less time. Okay, so what the foundation of this looks like there's two parts to it, where I'm mentioning Smart Day and then Smart Week. So the difference on these two are the Smart Day review that you're gonna be doing, you're really only gonna be spending anywhere from 15 minutes to about 30 minutes a day doing this. And I highly recommend doing this at the same time every day. And you don't have to do this on the weekends as well, but Monday through Friday, I would say is a good start to begin implementing Smart Day into your calendar. And so what I personally do is I do this as one of the first things that I do when I get up in the morning is I go through the Smart Day questions, which I'm gonna cover with you here in a minute. And I'll go through, review it, and then I start my day after I finish my day. And what I mean by that is don't start your day until you finish planning what you intend to accomplish in that day. So that is what Smart Week and Smart Day is intended to help you accomplish, is making sure that you know what you need to get done that day before you get started. When it comes to Smart Week, that one's gonna be a little bit more time intensive. I spend typically about an hour when I do Smart Week. And so Smart Week is just the long version of Smart Day. So it's what you've been doing daily, but you just take a little bit longer. You spend about an hour reviewing these questions and asking yourself, where are some of the areas that you're having the biggest challenges. This is where you're doing reviews. So if you're building a real estate business, that would be looking over the last 7 days and asking yourself, how many leads did I generate this week? How many contracts did I get this week? How many contracts did I sell this week? What were the main priorities that I set for myself to accomplish over the last 7 days? Did I get those done or didn't I? Why not? What are my action items going into that next week? And again, I'm gonna break down more specifically what those questions are and how I specifically will answer those questions for myself. All right, so here we go. So Smart Week, Smart Day. Again, these are gonna be the same questions. You do this daily, and then you do a more in-depth review once a week where you spend a lot more time on it. So when we're looking at number one is your victories, your good news, the attitude of gratitude. What that is if you're, whether you're doing it beginning of the day, end of the day, you're gonna be looking at what are some of the things that I can celebrate? What are some of the things that went well? Maybe it's you got a new contract. Maybe it's you hired a new virtual assistant. Maybe you brought on a new person into your business. Or maybe that you just got a deal closed and now you're able to cut back some hours at your job. Or maybe you were able to just quit your job because of how your business is going. So the beginning of your Smart Day, Smart Week is recognizing the wins that you're accomplishing, looking at the things that are going well, having an attitude of gratitude, so then you can go into that review in a good, positive state of mind as you go through and start looking at some of the areas that you may not be doing as well in, so that you're able to go into it with a good, positive state of mind. So number two is going to be your lead measures and your team metrics. So what this looks like are, what are the key lead measures that we are working on this week? Reviewing your numbers tracker, your numbers analyzer. I mean, really, this is going to depend on how you're tracking your numbers in your business. So maybe you're a new real estate investor and some of those things that you're doing are really just, key action items that you need to do every week. So maybe it's, if you're driving for dollars, maybe it's I'm adding 30 properties a day to my database. And at the end of the day, when you're doing your Smart Day review, hey, how many properties did you add? If you planned on adding 30 a day and you only got 20, this is what gives you the clear look and the focus on, am I hitting my numbers or am I not hitting my numbers? And when you're able to track the numbers in your business, you're gonna be able to create certainty, because when people are uncertain and unclear about where their business is at and where it's going, that's what creates stress, that's what creates anxiety, and that's what creates more uncertainty. And you can't move in confidence when you have uncertainty. So tracking your lead measures and your team metrics, depending on how big or how small your team, is extremely important. And so that's number 2. Number 3 is your 90-day priorities. So we run our businesses, myself and my business partner Pace, we run our businesses in 90-day runs. So we're looking at over the next 90 days, so 90 days is a quarter, right? So over the next quarter, where do we want our businesses to go? Where is our business at today, at the beginning of the quarter? Where are we hoping to be at the end of this 90 days, at the end of this quarter? And how are we doing? This is just a general overview. So when you're doing Smart Day, you're going to be spending a little bit less time on it. Maybe you just look at, okay, these are my goals for the 90 days, and you're just looking at and just seeing, okay, these are what my goals are, perfect. But when you're doing your Smart Week, what you need to be looking at is what number 4 is on here, which is based on your progress with your 90-day goals, what are 3 to 7 action items that must get done no matter what? Meaning, if you set these action items, those are the things that have to get done for you to be able to hit this 90-day target. And if you do not do it, you're not going to be able to hit your target. So this is doing within Smart Day and Smart Week is allowing you to create clarity on where am I going, where am I at, where's the gap, and that's what leads into number 5, which is where do I close the gap? Here's where I am, there's where I want to go, what does this gap look like, and how do I fill that gap? So this is just going to allow you to ask yourself better questions. And so some of the most successful people, they do a great job at asking great questions. If you ask better questions, you're going to get better answers. If you're at a certain point in your business and you don't know why you aren't at a higher level in your business, it's no secretive, mysterious thing you need to wonder. It's just you need to ask yourself better questions. If you're not doing the amount of deals that you want to be doing on a weekly, monthly basis, you need to work it backwards. If you want to make 10 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month, whatever that number is, do the math. If it takes X amount of deals to make 10 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month, then that means you need to close that many deals. Then work it backwards. So, okay, if you want to hit that many deals, then you look at it as, okay, if for me to get that one deal closed, I need how many leads? Okay, if I need to get that many leads to get one deal closed, then you can continue to work it backwards. If I need this many leads to then get a deal closed, to then make a certain amount of money, then you go all the way back to the beginning, which would be, okay, if I'm generating leads via virtual assistants helping grow my business, then how many virtual assistants do I need to be able to generate the right amount of leads, to then be able to generate the right amount of revenue that I want for my goal to hit my 90-day target? So that's just an example of what I look at when I'm doing this close the gap exercise on number 5 here, is on a weekly basis. Those are the numbers that I'm thinking about. Those are the things that I'm focusing on. And so number 6 is identifying and discussing that gap with yourself. So having that internal conversation of, okay, this is the gap in the performance, what needs to change? It may be some things that you need to change. It may be some things that your team needs to change. Maybe it's a marketing strategy, but that's something that you have to identify and discuss with yourself during this process. And number 7 is, once you wrap it all up, you know what you want your business to look like, you know where you're going, and you understand what action items need to be taken to get you there. Number 7 is visualizing how you want your life and this to look. So you visualize yourself completing these action items at a high level. So when it comes to Smart Day, I just do a quick visualization where I just think about really in my head over the next 1 to 2 minutes. I just think about, okay, here's the main action items that need to be accomplished tomorrow to help close this end gap that I'm trying to reach for this 90-day target. When I do this on my weekly, I'll spend 15, 20 minutes visualizing it, where I'll literally sit there and kind of close my eyes and think through the process of all of these things happening as if they've already happened, so that I'm able to visualize it and understand that, this is exactly what I'm going to do, and it's already done in my head, and now it's just a matter of time catching up with it's already done. So that in a nutshell is what Smart Week and Smart Day looks like. Something else that I'll typically do is sometimes I'll hear from a mentor of mine some great questions that are brought up, and I'm like, man, I really like that question. Like, one of my mentors has said, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did I do last week? Or how did the business do last week? And so what that does is it helps create some initial thoughts in your head. So if you look at over the last day or over the last week and say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did I do? Okay, I was at a 6, or maybe I'm at an 8. Then you can ask yourself the next question, which is, okay, well, why am I not at a 10? What would I have done differently that would have taken me from a 6 or an 8 up to a 10? So then you could just be able to pull more information and insight from yourself by asking great questions. Another great question that you could be asking yourself on a daily, weekly basis is, where do I feel the most stuck? When you have that uneasy feeling, and I know the feeling because I get it if I'm not consistently doing my Smart Day and Smart Week, where I start to feel uneasy, I start to feel anxiety, where I start to feel chaos, is when I'm not asking these questions and continuously doing Smart Day and Smart Week. But where do I feel the most stuck? And so when you ask yourself that, again, you're going to be able to create some answers for yourself to identify, okay, these are the areas that I'm having the biggest challenge with, and then be able to identify some things and action items to get yourself from being stuck to unstuck. So guys, if you want to get access to the sheet that I use for my Smart Week, Smart Day, in the description below, I'll have a link to that. You can check that out and start utilizing that in your daily, weekly, methods of operation. And that should be able to help you create a little bit less chaos in your life and get a lot more done. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you're getting value from this video so you could help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and we'll see you in the next video.